On this week's episode of Squencher Outdoors, we're back on our home lake, Table Rock Lake, and we're in Baxter, Missouri today, Timmy. We've both been sitting in a tree for weeks and weeks and weeks. I know you've been chomping at the bit to get out on the water, and anybody who knows you only like to fish with one thing in the winter if you can get away with it. What would that be?
Jewel jig.
A jewel jig. So we're going to go ahead and try and go out and see if we can catch them on a jewel jig. If we have to go deep and drop a Rapala ice jig, we will. But let's just go have some fun and see if we can catch one on a jig. And you can show everybody the setup later on, but let's get on the water.
I'm pretty confident they're going to bite today. So.
All right, it's beautiful for December. It's 40-something degrees, and it's early still. I mean, it's going to be nice. What about the wind today? It's
going to blow after a while, but, you know, that don't bother them when they're 40 foot deep. So.
That's true. All right, let's get this boat in the water and do it.
Right. Get this corner of this point right here real quick. It'll tell us quite a bit. Around the corner, there's two or three spots.
What kind of water temperature are we looking at?
We're looking at still climbing because we just put in. We're about 53.1 right now. That's about right. We've had some cold nights.
But, I mean, heck, it's middle of December. It's not exactly... Well, when you put in at Baxter, you don't have to go very far to start finding some good water.
That's all, yeah. You'll fish 5 spots like the other day. I had a guide trip. Hit 5 spots and we caught them on 1. And when you find them when they're feeding, it's fun.
I'm bundled up. I'll be shedding clothes here pretty quickly, Timmy.
We can get that. It'll feel a little different.
Uh-oh, Timmy already thought he... Don't catch one on first cast. You guys...
I was already ready to...
I've got a little green and orange with a little twin-tailed trailer jewel jig. Mine's a... What weight is that one? Is it 7/16?
That's a 5.
5?
Yeah, you'll never get that down here. Not while we're fishing.
How deep are you going to make me fish?
Well, I got the boat 42. I've got the 7/16 on. I'm on bottom right now.
You are. I got another one. I didn't know how deep we were going to go. All right, Timmy, in the wintertime with the jig, you know, I got to go fishing with Dion Hibden there in Lake of the Ozarks, and he's obviously a famous jig fisherman just like you are. But in the summertime with this jewel jig, you can hop it, you can swim it, you can do a lot. In the wintertime, it's a little more subtle of a presentation. Are you just wanting to just drag it where you can stay in contact with the bottom?
I'm watching my rod tip because too many people do this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I use my reel almost like a crankbait. I just kind of reel it, stop, just kind of pop it a little bit. Because you think about it, fish is real lethargic when it's cold. Crayfish is too. They're down there just moving when they do come out, and they're not moving very fast.
But if you get that jig in front of one, they can't resist it. It's a free meal.
What I like about it, they'll hit it even when they're not hungry because it really pisses them off. And sometimes they'll hit what I call short. They'll come up behind it and you'll set the hook and miss. Never reel it in, ever. I mean, let that thing fall back on a semi-tight line, and 99% of the time they'll hit it again before it hits the bottom. It's just when a crayfish is sitting there on the bottom and a fish comes up and does that, that crayfish spooks and he goes up and he floats back down, and that's exactly what your jig looks like when you miss one. And I catch a lot of them on the second and third bite.
And are you dragging it all the way out to the boat?
All the way, especially if I'm seeing them on the graph. I'll just let it sit there and just vertical. The other day, all the fish we caught on that guide trip, half of them were right under the boat.
Right under the boat.
I told him they're back there, just let it fall and hop it, and he was just hopping it, and he got eat up.
No live scope today, boys. We're going to fish like real men. See if we can catch one the real way.
It's the only way to do it. We'll get them. So we're on the end of this point now, and it's got a little bowl on it, and sometimes I'll catch one on this drop, and sometimes on this round right here. So it's all about timing. We'll hit a few spots, and somebody will ring the dinner bell, and it'll be
game on.
Game on.
Now I got 12-pound test line on. What do you throw? 12.
I throw 12. And I'll show you later this braid I've been experimenting with. I'm not a braid guy, but this stuff is absolutely amazing. I'll show it to you later when we do the tackle segment. Right now I just want to get a few fish in the boat.
The first one and the last one are the hardest two to catch.
Come on, let's Should be just about where those fish are right there. I'm going to drag it since you're casting. Get one. Since they're up off bottom, they're about 5 or 6 foot. Sometimes I'll be dragging it and I'll just kind of lift my bait up like that, kind of like you're setting a hook.
Yeah, and just let it fall back down.
Just let it fall back, and it's a reaction thing. You know, well, I may have said this before, like them little dogs, kind of like the one you got.
Yeah.
Little ankle biters, I call them. They just yip, 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 and you turn to walk away, and bam, they bite you right in the ankle. That's the same thing. They're watching that jig, and it takes off, and
they just can't resist.
Oh, yeah. So in my mind, every cast I make, there's a fish watching it. So I'm always trying to do something. Okay, what are you gonna do? Come on, bite it, bite it.
I mean, Timmy, you've been guiding here now for 40 years at least.
51.
How many?
51.
Oh my
God.
God.
I was 14.
I don't know if I would tell anybody that.
No, well.
But I mean, you've been jig fishing for 50 years, and jigs have changed a little bit, but in reality,
The jig's a jig,
a jig's a jig. But I can remember being a kid and using pork rind,
Yeah.
you know. But that was a big profile.
jig.
Well,
Yeah.
that was a big profile bait, and I never liked to fish with it because it seemed like if you'd catch one fish a day, but it'd be a giant. But my dad would be like, "Oh, you got to drag this jig, you'll catch a big fish." But now with these new lighter jigs and smaller profile jigs, you should have a jig on your rod 12 months out of the year. How many boats and money have you won using a jig? I mean,
I won 11 boats and a bunch of other stuff, pickups and four-wheelers, but I'd say that 80% of them's jig fish.
and that one of the reasons is because you have confidence.
Confidence, that's half of fishing.
Yeah.
Anything you do, confidence. You got half the game won if you have confidence. I know it's hard to do, like when I speak with high school kids, you know, they just got 23 rods on the deck.
Right.
And this time of year, I go out, I'm going to have one jig rod laying there, and that's it. I'm going to throw it all day because I know what can happen.
And you know you only need 5 fish in a tournament anyway. 5 bites in 8 hours. If you're fishing with your favorite lure and you're around fish, you know you're going to get a couple bites.
Yep, you got it. No, I was back when I first started fish. I didn't fish tournaments till like 96, 97, and 97 I won the Central Pro-Am Championship, and I'm very versatile. I was doing everything, and I was watching guys like Jim and Troy Aikens, the Davis brothers, all those guys, Terry Thomas, consistently in the top, consistently winning big bass pots, all jig fishermen, every one of them. So I mean, it didn't take rocket science to figure that out. So I started really fishing that jig more, and having somebody like Gail Julian at Jewel Bait Company, you know, support me ever since 97, and he makes best product out there as far as I'm concerned. He puts a lot of pride in it.
He don't skimp on the hooks. I can tell you one thing, these hooks are
anything.
Are sharp.
It's amazing product. Just to have a sponsor to get free stuff, you know, that's the last thing I need, because I got plenty of stuff in my shop. You've seen it, but I got to believe in the product. You know, it's got to be a good product. And
well, and his jigs have stood the test of time. He's been around a little while himself.
He just keeps getting better and better, and he's picked up some really big names on the pro staff and national touring guys, and for a reason.
The water temperature is all the way up to
56, yeah.
December 10th, and the water's 56 degrees. It's hard to believe.
I could throw this jig for 5 or 6 hours and not catch a fish, and I'm still like this, just knowing what's fixing to happen. I love it. This jig bite keeps me up at night.
Well, you know that when you get a bite, it's going to be fun because you're going to feel it thump, and you know what's about to happen. Yeah, if we're going to stay out here this deep, I may have to go one size bigger.
Yeah, I would go. You got that 5. I've got that 7/16 Pee-wee on, and it with 12-pound line, it hunts. And I've got the HG jig on that other one, the 5/8. Little one, but got to start somewhere. That's a good sign. When I looked down, there was about 5 shad he belched up right there at the top, so that means they're just now starting to feed. We hit that. I went to that bigger, that 5/8 HG. Not a big one, but
broke the ice. Gotta get the
head
first
and
one.
tail on him. Oh man, look at the draft. Look at the draft.
Still got the boat in about 42 foot of water, so you just gotta go slow and drag that thing down there and keep it down there. Worst thing you can do when you're not catching fish is start to speed up.
Yeah. Start tying on all this other stuff. Little smallie. Boy, he wanted that thing.
Pretty fish.
Yeah, I mean, he thumped it. I was going to say smallie as soon as I said it, because he went ka-thunk. Yeah. Teenagers. Go get them. Start to see them now, look.
Oh yeah.
Moved over to the channel banks. We were trying the main points and that wasn't doing much good. Put on a 5/16 ounce jewel peewee football jig and we're trying these ledges. Just moved up. Come on. There he is. Got her about 20 feet.
Atta boy.
Good. Oh yeah. I like it.
All right.
There we go. Big old fat spotted bass. Look where that thing got him. Oh man. He wasn't coming off. Look how big around that thing is. They get so much to eat. Oh, I love that jig. God.
He wasn't coming off.
I love that hook. It gets it. A lot of fish down there. Yeah.
Let's scoot over.
Keep in front of them long enough, they'll bite it.
Golly. Oh man.
There it is. Look at them all come up with it.
I know.
Holy cow. Wonder what happened to their buddy. That's good. Got your line there.
I know you do. I'm like, why is my line going sideways?
Yeah,
Give
we're
my
trying-
line back.
We were trying to get my fish. There we go. Oh, hold on, you're on a rod over here.
I'm like, what is going on?
A nice
What
one.
happens when you catch one?
50 foot deep.
50 foot deep.
Yep, throw him back here. Fat, we get them. That's why they're not eating much. Look at the belly on that thing. Of course, they blow up too when you pull them out of that deep of water.
Well, I'm glad you had a pouch of these new baits.
Well, we fished a jig early, you know, and had a few fish on it. And now it seems like when the wind laid a little bit, it's a little later in the afternoon. Tony and I, we went out and did catch a few deep fish. They were even acting a little bit weird, but picked the jig back up. We're fishing back in these major creeks, fishing little secondary points, ones with a, you know, kind of a drop next to it, kind of an edge where the creek channel cuts in. And picked jig back up, missed a couple a while ago, but I'm seeing some fish down there, so we're gonna throw a jig for a little bit and see what happens. Boy, it feels good down there. Every rock I come to, I'll just pop it off that rock and make sure you got enough tension in that so when one hits it, you can. Ooh, ooh. Just like that. I felt him swipe at it. Then he came back and ate it. Oh,
It's like a decent one.
Yeah, he's coming up the tide. Yeah, it's a good fish. Nice spot. He's hooked pretty good.
Nice.
All right. Like it? I'd rather catch him on that jig than anything. But look at that. I'm surprised he's eating it all. Can you see that belly on that thing? My God.
That looks like Michael Wall's belly.
Oh,
Sorry, Mikey.
I knew you had to do that. Last year it was Mike Webb. Now it's Michael Wall.
Pretty fish.
All right. Now, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but when you're fishing that jig out and you see a few on the graph, that means when you're seeing them on 2D, they're right under the boat. And I saw a few right on this corner right here, so I just let that jig go down and just not big hops, or just kind of hop it right below the boat, you know, and pull it right through those fish. And you know, if you're seeing them down there, there's fish there. And there he is, right there, just like that. Just like that. That was one of those three I just saw. I bet his buddies are right behind him. Oh, I love that jewel jig. When you pop them in the top of the head like that, they're usually caught. Yep. There you go, girl. Come on. Try to keep them off the carpet.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to get any fish slime on your carpet.
No. Yep. That was good. Back down there he goes. If you release those fish, when you pull them out of that deep water, they get the bends. It's kind of like you diving down 40, 45 feet, you're going to get the bends. You have to decompress. And those fish, when you pull them up that fast, you can't pull them up slow because that jig, you know, is so big. If you give them any slack, they shake their head and you'll lose them. So you have to pull them up quick. And what happens is that those air sacs in them will blow up. And if you turn them loose right away, they got enough strength to go down, they'll belch that out and they're fine. But if you put them in a live well for a tournament or whatever, you got to fizz them with that needle. That's the only way they'll die on you. So, but if you release them right away, they're fine.
Take a minute, because a lot of times we never stop and take a minute to talk about what kind of stuff you're using, and even talk about your batteries, because you got so many electronics going and stuff.
The electronics are so important, you know, when you're out fishing, just even throwing a jig when you're out there, because I just like that last fish I caught, you know, I saw him on the electronics, you know, and I just let my bait drag. I wouldn't have done that. I'd have reeled in, threw back out there and caught a fish. But yeah, having these kind of I run Lowrance Pro units, great units, and you got all these units running. If you got an aerator running, all that, it's a big draw. And I've been using Pro Guide batteries since 1997, and I just love them. I love them. I never have a problem with them. I'm using the AGM, the regular batteries, the heavy duty ones, and they run all my stuff with no problem. Trolling motor too. So I want to go in a little bit about the jig we were throwing. Jewel Pee-wee football jig. This is the 7/16 ounce model. It's the more finesse. It's got the smaller hook in it. Then we come out with the HD model, which has got that bigger, wider gap hook. This one's a 5/8. That's what I was using when I was fishing out a lot deeper. But this 7 gets out there and hunts pretty good too. But I like that smaller profile, more compact bait. And what I'm putting on the back of it is the Crush City, the cleanup crawl they call it. And what I do is I trim it up. I don't like to hook that bait to where it's hanging back like that. I want to keep it real compact. And I already know where to cut it. But I go back here and I put that hook. I want it to come out right between those crawls. I go back here and put my thumb. It's right in front. I take scissors and just cut that off. And just run it right up between those pinchers. And you can see how compact that is. Look at that. And that cleanup crawl, the way Jacob Wheeler designed that, I mean, it's got so much thump when you're pulling that. It is a good bait. But the thing I'm doing with this cleanup crawl on that Pee-wee finesse one, since that gap on that hook is not real wide, I'm filleting that bait, actually, is what I'm doing. It's the same, it's right in front of those legs. And what I do, I take my scissors and I flay off about that much, and see right there where you got, then this one's already cut it off, but now look at that gap on that hook.
Got a lot more hook exposed.
Yeah, and if you put on the whole thing, since it's so thick up here, you got very little bite for that fish. So I do that right there, and I mean that right there is my pretty easy on the jig. And you can see my assortment. I got the 3/16, the 5, the 7s, and I got the 1/2, 3/4. I got a whole setup, different colored skirts. But these baits right here, I've been using for many years.